9 months. That's how long it's been since Bethesda put out the Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition. 3 patches since then, 3 sets of patch notes, and 9 months later, people are still having problems with it. Problems, plural. There's a pile of separate things going wrong here, and which one you've run into depends on what you own, how you're playing, and what you did the last time you opened it. 2 people can both be completely fed up with this game right now and be describing entirely different failures. Some of you are gonna say yours runs perfectly. Fair enough. For plenty of people it does. But 9 months and 3 patches in, it works for most people is just not good enough. So, November 10th, 2025, Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition. 10 years of Fallout 4 packaged up and sold to you again. 6 official add-ons, over 150 pieces of Creation Club content, a brand new Creations menu, the complete version, $40. And Bethesda knew this was going to be rough, because look at what they did in the run-up. Mods and Creation Club went offline for 4 days beforehand, November 6th through the 10th, for maintenance. And they put out a notice asking players to please disable any mods that changed the main menu before the update landed, because the update was changing the main menu, and if you didn't, those mods would break. Which is a strange thing to have to ask thousands of people to do individually, but fine. Then the update ships. Mods break across the board anyway. The Steam reviews for the Anniversary Edition go mostly negative within days, with people saying it broke the game and added nothing worth having. And on PlayStation, people start launching Fallout 4 and finding that their DLC is gone. Not disabled, by the way, it's just full-on gone. Far Harbor uninstalled, Nuka World uninstalled. The game acting like the purchase never happened. Saves with that content baked into them, refusing to open at all. These are people who bought something years ago, in good faith, and watched it stop existing because of an update they were never given the option to decline. On PC, you could work around it, even though it's a pain and you shouldn't have to do that. But on consoles, you just had no options. And Bethesda's guidance at the time, in the patch notes, was this. Please enable any of your creations after your DLC is completely installed. Turn things on in a different order. That was the advice for people whose paid expansions had vanished off their machine. December 16th, 2025, Patch 1. And this was something done, at least. The December patch is a real patch with real work in it. They fixed the Creations bundle on Steam. They got the game recognizing Creation Club content again when you load a save from an older build. They fixed the warning dialogue so it stopped lying to you about whether your creations were disabled or deleted. They cleaned up a pile of interface problems, missing button layouts, empty titles in your own library, keyboard input dropping out in the Creations menu, the sort menu, the category list, Steam Deck and ROG Ally layouts, and crashes. A lot of crashes. Crashing when you downloaded all your creations at once, crashing when the data reloaded, crashing when you sat idle in a menu, crashing when you signed out of your profile, crashing when you simply backed out of the Creations menu, which they call out as being especially bad on PS4 and PS5. They also fixed one where the game had stopped knowing what the Commonwealth was called, and was instead displaying on your Pip-Boy map, on your door transitions, all over the interface, the words "look up failed," which, as a one-line summary of the whole situation, is honestly pretty hilarious. And this was never only a PlayStation problem, it was just worst there. PC players were getting told they didn't have enough disk space to install content when they had plenty of it. Anybody with a Bethesda account linked to a second platform could hit an infinite loading screen just trying to sign into the Creations menu. Hitting download all creations in my library could fail outright and dump you back at the title screen. There was one creation, the Enclave Remnants pack, that would sometimes fail to spawn its NPCs and objects depending on how you'd progressed, so you'd load into content you owned and find nobody home. That's the shape of this whole thing, on every platform. The machinery that decides what you own and whether it loads had stopped working properly, and everything since has been Bethesda trying to get it running again. That's a serious month of work, and at the end of it, on PlayStation, the DLC was still gone. February 2026. The fix lands. An update goes out that addresses the missing DLC on PS4, and it works. Add-ons come back, saves open again, people confirm it in the threads within hours of it going live. I covered this at the time. I made a video that week saying the fix was real and it had worked, and I'll stand by that because it had. 3 months of owning a game you couldn't play, and then for most people it was over. Most people, because Bethesda's own note about the DLC problem never read like a solved case. It read like a recommendation, a thing to try, aimed at the players still sitting in it after everybody else got out. And that's 9 months of Bethesda being present. December, February, May. Engineers on this game the entire time. Support tickets, Discord threads, patch notes going out. Nobody put Fallout 4 down and wandered off to work on something newer. And that makes what happened in May even harder to explain. May 27th, 2026. Creation Storage Expansion, finally. This is the thing console players had been asking for louder than anything else for over a year. More room for mods. Bethesda said it was a goal to get it out on console in 2025, then said they needed a bit more time, then pushed it to the new year. And in May, there it is. More storage on every platform. PS4 up to around 16 gigs. And the first thing that update does when you launch it, it clears every creation you have installed. All of them, off your console. And to get them back, Bethesda's instructions are that you either restore a saved load order through the Creations menu, or you load a game save made after November 10th, 2025. Which, if you're a PlayStation player whose save stopped opening on November 10th, 2025, is a fantastic option. The recovery plan for the update that wiped your mods is a save file created by the update that broke your game. And underneath the good news, Bethesda tells PS4 players a few more things. That the download size won't match the space actually used. That storage usage may look bigger than it should when you go to manage it. And that because of how the console partitions storage, there's still a practical ceiling on how many large creations you can have installed at any one time. So the fix for not having enough room shipped with a warning that you might not have enough room.
Huh?
Okay, now, I want to address the 0 kilobyte save bug. It's the one where your save shows up empty, no data, nothing to load, hundreds of hours just gone. People are pinning that on the Anniversary Edition, and that isn't where it comes from. That bug is old. It's a PlayStation save storage limit. People were hitting it years before any of this happened, and the more creations you've got loaded, the faster you hit it. The community fix has always been the same. Go in and delete your old saves and hope. But look at what Bethesda has done twice now. In November and again in May, they've made every console player uninstall and re-download their entire Creations library. Twice they've marched people straight into the one bug that was already sitting there waiting. Bethesda didn't invent that bug, and they keep driving people into it anyway. So where does that leave us? 9 months, 3 major patches, 3 real attempts to put this right. And what it adds up to is the DLC came back for most PlayStation players in February, and not all of them. The storage expansion cost everybody their installed mods to arrive, and it comes back to what you paid. Go and look at your purchase history. The receipt's real, it's got a date on it, the money's gone. And whether Far Harbor opens tonight depends on decisions being made in Maryland about an update you couldn't decline on hardware you can't roll back. For 10 years, the arrangement with Bethesda was that the game ships broken and the mod community repairs it. Everybody signed up for that, and it mostly worked. But the mod community can't patch an entitlement check. They can't hand you back a save that won't open. The only people who can fix this are the ones who broke it, and they've had 9 months and 3 patches to get there. So, comments. I want a number. How many hours are you locked out of right now? The character you can't load, the save that won't open, the DLC that won't install, just a number and your platform. I want to see what 9 months actually costs when you add it up, and I'll see you in the next one.